the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Scoop Slam Podcast. We're here, you're there, listening to another episode. And again, you're joined by your host. I'm Micah. Let me introduce my co-host. He is Ryan.
Yo, Micah, I'm over here and I'm ready to be scooped.
I'm over here, and I'm ready to be slammed.
Let's get it then.
I didn't have any cool segue for you this week. I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, you didn't set me up for nothing, man.
Yeah, sorry. I gave you a cold tag, iceberg tag even. But it sets you up for more failure.
Uh-oh.
If you've been listening to the Scoop Slam podcast, you know Ryan is the better historian than me. So I got a fun little segment here. I'm going to see how well you know your stuff. Now, I know you took a little hiatus during this time period, but we're going to try this out. If the people like it, we'll keep doing it. We're coming off the heels of one of our best episodes. I'm not just saying that from a personal standpoint. The numbers are showing. It was one of our top 3 most listened to episodes ever. So we really appreciate that. You guys have been coming out in numbers on the Instagram page. I did another reel the other day that had like 800 views. One of ours has like 42,000. I dropped another one today. So make sure you're going to our link tree, following us on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Facebook, TikTok, all of that. Any social media, I bet you we're on it. So make sure to follow us there for updates, exclusive little clips, and stuff like that. Next week, we are going to SmackDown in New Orleans. We'll be there live, so we might get some content going for that. I got to think of what to do.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, man. I thought we were gonna be, cheering on LA Knight, man.
You're not gonna be there?
Well, hey, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen SmackDown, skip ahead 5 minutes. Well, Micah, he lost the fatal 4-way.
No! They pushing. Okay, well, let me guess. Is it Santos that won?
Santos won last week, and Rey Mysterio won this week. Well, he didn't take a pin. He did lose, but he won't be at SummerSlam. He won't be in the number 1 contendership match next week. It'll be Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Battle of the LWO members, and they do have history. I think they had a match in Lucha Underground together, so it should be a good match, but I don't know, man. I'm a little disappointed.
That must confirm the reports I saw today then, because I saw something that said that his push isn't going to begin until after SummerSlam because they have stuff wrote out. But also, I don't know if you saw this, and I'm sorry for not quoting whoever I saw it from. I want to say Fightful, but don't hold me to that. He has the number 1 selling shirt on the shop right now.
My goodness. Over LWO, over Roman Reigns.
Yep. And that's not all. He also has the 3rd and 4th most sold shirt on the shop right now.
He has that many shirts on the shop?
I guess. The only one I can think of is just the one with the big LA.
I think one says yeah, but
yeah. I don't know, but that's what I saw. So they better strike while the iron's hot.
Bro, when you see the reaction he got in Orlando tonight, I don't know, man. It's main event level reactions.
It pisses me off. He better be there in New Orleans. I don't care if he comes out before the show, but I better see LA Knight.
And you remember when like the Cesaro section was a thing where they had like little Cesaro section signs all over the arena?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there were yes signs all over the arena like that. It was pretty jarring because people don't make signs like that anymore, but I guess someone made them and passed them out, but I don't know, man. It was LA Knight signs everywhere. He got a Roman Reigns level pop tonight, man.
He should beat Austin Theory, in my opinion, because Theory's cold.
Yeah, I really Now I don't think the U.S. title is gonna be on the SummerSlam card.
You don't think it'll be Escobar versus Theory at SummerSlam?
No. I don't think it's gonna happen at SummerSlam. I think it'll probably happen the night before SummerSlam. I just don't see it making the card because you know how they like to have those tight 5 or 6 match cards, and
Yeah.
really it's not the match with not LA Knight, Santos Escobar. If it is him and Theory, it won't have much heat behind it. So I see that happening the night before on SmackDown, just like how they did the women's title match the night before Money in the Bank. They didn't actually have it on the card.
Interesting. That does make sense, though. Like you said, they don't have a lot of they don't have a whole lot of time to build to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably so. Well, I mean, at least we get to see Ray and Santos. At least we get to see Ray. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
Roman.
I've ever seen. Did we see Ray last time when we went to Raw? Was Ray there? I don't think Ray
I don't
was
think
there.
so. No, because it was before before WrestleMania. And remember, Dom was on Raw, so Ray had moved to SmackDown because he didn't want to intermingle with him.
Yeah, you're right. I've never seen Ray live. Should be pretty cool though.
I don't think that I have either. Because I think when I went to the live event in Dothan, like years ago, I think it was 2012. I think he was on SmackDown and I went to a Raw show.
But you got to see the Big Show. You got to see Big Show, John Cena.
Yeah, that was main event in a steel cage. I saw Punk versus Danielson, and Punk was champ at the time.
Whoa. Daniel Bryan.
Oh, my bad. He used his government name. Dolph was there. It was him.
Hey, okay. You got to see Dolph twice then, huh?
Yeah, Dolph picked up my sign too.
Yeah, he got squashed by what did he get squashed by when we went to on Raw? Was that Bronson Reed that squashed him?
No, I think it was Omos.
No, we didn't see Omos.
I think it was Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Got a freaking glacier pop. And I mean the wrestler Glacier too, if you want to use it like that.
Come on.
Anyways, to segue to the segment that we were actually talking about, we got off on a bad tangent, but all in good flavor for our boy LA Knight. Gonna try this, gonna see how it goes. So Ryan, I hope you can get to thinking. You have to name, you got 6 minutes. There's 54 of these.
Come on, man. What?
Well, okay, some are more than once, so if you say a wrestler, then it'll apply multiple times. So it's not actually 54. It's more just there has been 54 of these. Does that make sense?
My goodness, man. You give me an exam right here on Scoop Slam Podcast?
You got homework.
Jesus.
All right. Can you name the World Heavyweight Champions from 2002 until its title unification in 2013? You ready?
My God. Okay. All right, let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Triple H. We got Shawn Michaels. And then Triple H won it again. Jeez, man.
And see, Triple H counted for 5 of those 54. So.
Oh, okay. Goldberg. Booker T, Rey Mysterio, Great Khali, Batista, Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, Rey Mysterio.
You already said him.
Edge. We got Edge.
Yep.
Okay. Chris Benoit. Randy Orton. How many I got so far?
Okay, you got 29 out of 54. You've gotten 2002 through 2005 done.
Wow.
A lot of what you're missing is honestly after. Well, you got a good bit of 2010.
Okay, CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, Christian, Alberto Del Rio, Big Show. I mean, I got look.
Let's see here. I'm typing in Big Show. Uh, 14 and 4 minutes.
Oh man. 2008. Who was champ in 2008?
There's one glaring omission from that time period.
Oh man. John Cena.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I forgot John Cena. I just don't equate John Cena with that big gold belt.
Yeah, I agree. I only think of it because of the WrestleMania 25 main event.
Oh yeah, I forgot he won that there. Okay, Jack Swagger.
Yep, that was another one.
This 2012. Who we have in 2012? Oh, Daniel Bryan, Sheamus.
You're missing another glaring one.
From what year? What year? Give me a hint.
2010, 2009.
You put Jericho, right?
Nah, you missed him.
Okay, well, Jericho.
All right. You only got 5 left. You've got one from, let's see, time period wise. You've got one from 2006, one from 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2011.
2006. Kurt Angle.
Yep.
All right. Kurt Angle lost it to Ray, and then Ray lost it to Booker, and Booker lost it to Batista, and Batista dropped it to Undertaker.
There you go. You didn't have Undertaker. That
Oh,
counted
okay.
for 2, so you've got one left from 2011.
2011. Let's see. Who
I'll
was
give
the
you a
world?
hint just because typically if you were doing this, you would have time to look at the list. They beat Randy Orton and then lost to Big Show in 2011.
Mark Henry, Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Look at you. And you had 2 minutes to spare.
Yeah, light work, son. Oh, you gotta give me some harder ones, Micah. Well, come on now.
Okay, well, I'll come back next week. Check in next week for Scoop Slam trivia. And if you were able to name them in a faster time, let us know. Scoopslam at gmail.com. If you got any other trivia or tests you want to send us or questions, send it to scoopslam at gmail.com, and we might do it on the show because I've got a couple websites, but I'm sure they'll run dry eventually. I think you did better than I could have, especially when you were like, Ray lost to Booker and Booker lost to Batista. I was like, holy crap, because I was sitting there looking at the sheet and I was like, oh, he's right. He's right.
Oh man, I was locked. I was locked in to the max back then. 06 to about around 09. I wasn't as locked in as I once was, but yeah, that ruthless aggression era was my era, man.
See, I thought you were going to struggle more in the 2011, 2012.
Well, I still caught the pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, that's true. I know that's the period your fandom dipped. Like mine dipped from like 2014 to 21.
Well, until a man by the name of Mr. Brooks stood in the middle of the arena in a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt in Las Vegas and cut a promo, a famous pipe bomb promo. That's when I got locked back in.
Fair. I was going to make mention of it on this episode, but I scrapped it. But now that you brought it up, that's the 12th anniversary of the Money in the Bank match was this past Monday. I watched
July
it on
17th.
Sunday.
Huh?
Yeah. Still holds up. That crowd is insane.
Nuclear. 5-star classic, man.
Yeah. Not as good as their one on Raw, though. I will say the atmosphere is better, but the match itself for that Raw before WrestleMania was great.
Probably my favorite match of all time.
The Cena versus Punk at which one?
Money in the Bank.
Oh,
Yeah,
your favorite of all time?
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. Yeah,
Interesting. I thought it was Taker and Shawn.
that's top three, but I don't know, man. It was just the perfect storm.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I remember where I was watching that Punk Cena match.
Yeah, it was something, man. I knew wrestling was fake, but still, it just still had me questioning, like, well, maybe he will leave with the world title. Maybe he is. Maybe he does mean all this stuff he's saying on Raw about company be better off when Vince McMahon's dead. And I was like, come on, that's not supposed to happen. And
I don't even think that's PG.
Hey man, 2011 summer was pretty underrated.
I don't remember anything else that was going on
Oh,
during
bro,
that time period.
You don't remember when R-Truth got start cutting loose on Raw? He smoked a cigarette live on the air.
Oh yeah, he was
The
only time the truth will set you free.
Yes, man. The only time a cigarette has been smoked live on air was during that time period.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
man, R-Truth has been with the company for a long time.
Yeah, he came back in 2009, but he was with the company in the year 2000 with Road Dogg.
Hey, Chronic. Or was that
no?
Was that a TNA name?
K-Quick. Yeah,
Who?
TNA name was Ron Killings. So he just went by his
K
name.
Chronic? Was there somebody named Chronic?
I think that was a tag team back in WCW. Chronic.
Where did I? It must have been. I pulled that from somewhere.
Maybe that was one of his ring names in somewhere else, but yeah, it was K-Quick in WWF.
The Google is saying no. That is not a thing at all.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know where I pulled that from, but that's why you're the historian on the Scoop Slam podcast.
What are we getting into this week, man?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We're behind on the upload, so we went ahead and added a couple more topics than we would normally talk about. We normally wait for Dynamite to come out from the previous week, so we would talk about it next week. But we're going to talk about it on this episode. But to start us off, the July 14th episode of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. And really not a whole lot to talk about, but I definitely wanted to hit on the Jey Uso segment with Paul and Solo Sikoa. A couple talking points I wrote down in my notes. This Jey, if Roman is the top dog in this whole story, and a lot of it hinges on him, Jey is his best supporting actor because he is just great at this.
Yeah.
And with Jimmy out, I think main event Jey is again showing that he belongs in the main event scene. I sent you a TikTok the other day, it was Jey and Jimmy doing an interview, and they talked about main eventing WrestleMania together at some point in time, or maybe just wrestling each other. I don't remember exactly, but it looks like from here we're going to Jey and Roman at SummerSlam. And sorry if I'm getting ahead of you, but I just kind of want to ask this question, and I'm sure you've got thoughts about the segment as a whole. It looks like we're building a Jey and Roman at SummerSlam. Is there any way you think that Jimmy turns on Jey and they build to that to WrestleMania? Because I doubt that Jey is going to beat Roman at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that, man. That would feel like a swerve just to swerve, man. I don't know. Because Jey and Jimmy, they've been together through this whole endeavor, man. And if Jimmy turned on Jey, I don't like that, man. It really doesn't make any sense. Have the match with Jey and Roman, have Roman win, through, questionable circumstances. And we get, Roman doing his own thing after SummerSlam, and then Jey can probably go at their Theory or somebody like that. But I don't know. I don't think Jimmy should turn on Jey anytime soon.
That's another thing I wonder too. Where does he go after this? Not just Roman, but like the Usos, because they can't really go back to the tag division. And
Nah.
how long? Jimmy's hurt, right?
I think it's kayfabe.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was a shoot because I was gonna say if Jey does a solo thing, then what does Jimmy do?
Yeah, if Jimmy turned on Jey, man, it feel way too like Russo booking, like just the shock factor. I don't know. Me personally, I would have Jey take the L to Roman, and then maybe you can build up a Solo versus Jey match. Maybe you can build that up.
That's true.
Yeah, you can do that. Because I really don't think Solo's ready for that main event spotlight.
Oh, heck
him,
no.
Not him versus Roman. I can't see at this point.
Not yet. Maybe Royal Rumble, but not yet, in my opinion.
That might be too soon. I don't know, man.
It could, but
Roman has a lot of challengers. Like, if you really think about it, he could face Bobby, because we got some history with them. They're possibly reforming a variation of a faction around Bobby. Did you see Street Profits and Bobby leaving the building together?
yeah, I like that pairing, but I do get tickled anytime you get a group.
Come on, man. I knew you were going there.
It happens every time on Twitter. The new Hurt Business.
I didn't want to say it. I was choosing my words wisely. I was about to say, yeah, I'm about to reform the Hurt Business, but yeah, we could get that, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, every time a group of black guys get together in the WWE, the new Hurt Business, like, can't they just be something else? Oh, matter of fact, speaking of the Hurt Business, what happened? You remember when they were teasing that a couple months ago and nothing ever happened?
Yeah, I do remember that. Maybe it had something to do with Wyatt, that whole storyline being dropped. Maybe that threw a monkey wrench in the plans, bro. Because I think they had something they were building to. Because did you hear they released Eric Young?
Yeah, he main evented the Impact pay-per-view the other day.
Did he? I didn't even realize.
Yeah, he went back. I think it was him and Scott D'Amore versus Bully Ray and
Who?
Scott D'Amore is like the owner of TNA.
What? I don't know who that is. Who do you ever beat?
Well, I guess Dixie Carter and Jeff and all the others for ownership.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah. Anyways, how did we get on TNA from Roman Reigns?
The point is, man, Jey and Jimmy, I don't think that should be a match anytime soon.
I could see it, but I agree the swerve now might be too soon. I had a thought, and the thought left me as I was talking. About this promo that we actually saw on SmackDown, to talk about it for a minute instead of what the future holds. Is this the first time that we've heard Solo talk in like a major role, or have I just missed that?
And you missed it. He said a couple things. I remember one in particular. He that was early on when he first got to the main roster, and he said, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, or something to that accord. He said that live in the ring, but yeah, he's a man of few words, Micah. Man of few words. He crosses his arms a lot, and he looks menacing there in the background.
And that's all they need him to do. I think he did a bad job. I highly doubt that he's ready for this position, considering Think about how long it took the Usos to get good at promos and Roman.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Does his size does that bother you, man? Like he's supposed to be the heater, like the big nasty, the Batista of the group, if you will. The Wardlow, yeah. I know Wardlow's not a giant, but he still looked bigger than everybody else around him in AEW. Solo, bro, he's shorter than the Usos.
I agree. I think that him being next to Roman hurts because Roman's a taller guy, and by today's standards. But I think it could work, and I hate to do this because it just feels like I'm taking the piss out of Solo, and it's not like that. But Jacob Fatu isn't really tall either, but he's just like thicker. You know what I mean? And he's a little bit more menacing.
Yeah, definitely so. He's at least taller than the Usos, but I mean, Solo, he's short. He looks like a baby Uso.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And matter of fact, speaking of the NOYE family, Zilla Fatu made his debut at Reality of Wrestling, which is Booker's thing, last weekend, and it was just a squash match, but I mean, he looks like he got some intensity at least.
Bro, where are they getting all these family members?
I don't know. I guess
how deep is the bloodline, man?
Something's in that water in Samoa. I don't know what it is, but something's in that water. But yeah, just to close it up, Jey cut a really good promo. It was a good segment. Watching Paul Heyman bump is always just a spectacle of the night.
It's rare, but when he takes the bump, it always gets the biggest reactions of the night when he takes bumps.
And I will never forget him getting F5 through the announce table at SummerSlam last year because it just like
he sat there dead for like 15 minutes. Nobody checked up on him.
It was just like a sack of potatoes. I don't know how to. I mean, it kills me when I think about it.
Hey, we got to give some credit to Jey for handling those what chants at the beginning of his promo. You see that?
Yeah, that's very true. And also, why are they? Do people not understand the what chant? You're supposed to what a heel or somebody you don't want to hear. Who doesn't want to hear Jey Uso?
Bro, all it takes is one irritating fan, and then the whole crowd joins in.
Yeah. So if you start them what chants in New Orleans this weekend, it's on site.
Yeah, you're a piece of garbage.
The Scoop Slam podcast enforcers will come hunt you.
We're ready to super kick, man.
They're out there, yeah. Yeah, that's what our bodyguards do. They just super kick constantly, just like the Usos. Anyways, a good segment. Excited to see where it goes. I'm really excited for their match at SummerSlam between Jey and Roman because their Night of Champions match 2 years ago was really good. But
and their Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, that's true. That one had a little more theatrics, which I guess kind of was a precursor to what we're at now, but both were really good.
Yeah.
And that was kind of when I was getting back into it too. So Jey, like, just blew me out of the water because I didn't know that he was like this. And see, I missed all that stuff where them and the New Day had promo battles back and forth.
Yeah,
don't get all rated R like your boy Xavier Woods.
They had a great feud in that late 2010s era, man. They had some great matches together.
And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everything will be good. The Bloodline stuff continues to be solid, and if you hadn't listened to the Scoop Slam Mid-Year Awards, go check them out because Roman Reigns is still reigning supreme as Wrestler of the Year halfway through this year. But let's move to Saturday. It's all right for fighting, apparently, according to AEW Collision. And we opened up hot with a clear Match of the Year candidate, maybe even a winner. And I think I got ahead of myself by putting the one from the week before on the Match of the Year list, because now throw that one out and put this one on here.
You just lump them both together, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Dave only gave one over 5 stars. Only one counts. But 4.5 and 5 is basically the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, Michael.
My God. Anyways, July 15th, AEW Collision featured the World Title Tag Team match, FTR versus Bullet Club Gold, and was main evented by CM Punk and Ricky Starks for the Owen final. So let's go ahead and talk about the tag team match. Wow. 2 out of 3 falls, went 58 minutes. I don't think that they could have done anything more. I don't think they needed to do anything less. It was everything it needed to be and more. I mean, what more can you say? A couple things have came out this week that I wanted to tell you in case you haven't heard. Most of the match was called in the ring, which is insane in today's day and age.
I didn't know that.
And so that just speaks to the skill of all 4 guys. And I will go ahead and give them props. Jay White and Juice Robinson have really impressed me because I was not high on them to begin with, but they have been stars of this show. And lastly, and I'll throw it to you, they almost had to move this match to next week because Juice had travel issues and he didn't get to the arena until 2, I think, Pacific. So I don't know what time zone they were in, but like he missed call time because of travel issues. So they only had like, and then Dax had to do something, maybe like a photo shoot or something. So they didn't have a whole lot of time to plan it out either. So to have an hour Broadway and a match of the year, call it in the ring, and with not a lot of preparation time, just insane.
Jeez, man. Go ahead, zip up their pants when you're done with them, huh?
Oh, come.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. It was good, man. It was a long match. It was a very long match. I did not know they were gonna go an hour. I had to take a break in between, man, because I feel like I've seen these guys wrestle every week at this point. You said match of the year. I don't know about that. It was a good tag match. It was a good tag match.
So your match of the year last week was
Uso, Sami Zayn, KO.
personally.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, look. Obviously,
All
the
right.
atmosphere. It's on the biggest stage, main event, WrestleMania, and
Yeah.
one is in,
The
Canada.
one is with 6 in front of 500 people in a gymnasium. Yeah, it was great
Actually,
atmosphere.
there was like 5,000 there last week. I'm not going to let you disparage the good name of AEW Collision.
Where were they at? Where were they at?
Somewhere in Canada. Wait.
Oh, God. Was that Regina?
No. I don't remember where
No,
they
they were
were.
in Calgary. They were in Calgary.
Oh, yeah. So good wrestling town. I think they did 5,500. I think the work was better in the FTR match. Obviously, you can't beat the stage of the Usos and the Sami Zayn match, but
They've wrestled 6 weeks in a row, Micah. I mean, why can you know what? You said that the Street Profits and the Usos wrestled way too much. I think that was last year. But these guys can wrestle 7 straight weeks, and you're okay with it.
listen, they have not. You're making this more of a deal than it has to be. The first week was a 6-man tag match, so that's different. The second week was an 8-man tag match, so that's different.
Okay.
The third week, FTR didn't wrestle at all. I think Juice did a singles match with Ricky. The fourth week, they had the Eliminator match, and the
That
fifth
went
week.
that went 30 minutes too, didn't it?
Well, now we see why. It takes them a while.
Oh God.
And then they had the hour Broadway. You don't like FTR because Dax runs his mouth, and you also just are predisposed to not like AEW.
I'm not. No, well. Okay, fine. But then you know what, man? I'm not a big Jay White fan either.
He hadn't impressed you?
He's just people made him up to be the greatest heel of all time when he left New Japan. Do you not remember that? People were saying he was better than MJF. People said this.
Well, they might be right now.
Oh well, yeah. Okay. All right. You know, any other week I would fight you on this, but after seeing what I saw, I might be selling my MJF stock right now, man.
Get it out of here. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump the gun on that one, but overall, I thought a really good tag match. Don't listen to Ryan. He's a hater. He's got his hater glasses on today. He wants to be Skip Bayless.
Okay. You know, I like that they went 58 minutes and not the Broadway. That kind of that was a nice little touch. Because usually if they're going that long, usually it ends in like a tie, and then we'll just maybe get a rematch later on. But here they threw us a little curveball and they ended with like 2 minutes to spare. So I did enjoy that.
And they announced it loud enough for everybody to hear.
Yeah. There was audio issues too, like throughout the night.
You know, they can never nail them. At this point, I just expect it. I just roll with it.
I don't understand that, man. They've been a company for 4 years at this point.
I don't know if maybe it's like their production crew. Well, they got that, was it Michael Mansuri or whatever? Maybe it's different buildings and they're not running like the NBA stadiums that WWE runs. I don't know. Maybe the audio in the building's bad.
Well, they do run NBA arenas sometimes. I think they ran the Boston Garden last night for Blood and Guts.
Well, yeah, but like, okay, where was WWE for SmackDown tonight? The Amway Center?
Yeah.
And then next week they're going to be in the Smoothie King Center, which is the Pelicans arena. So like they're consistently in NBA arenas, whereas AEW is only for big shows.
Yeah, and they had some broadcast issues too later on in that. What was that last Saturday? Battle of the Belts. Remember the feed got cut, man.
Oh yeah, for the Tony
ladies
Storm.
Match. Yeah, and they didn't even. Nobody knew who won the match.
Well, come on now.
I'm sure there's some Tony Storm fans out there that were wondering if Taya beat her for the title. I don't know, man.
She's been relegated to the role of, oh, you're a challenger, even though you've lost like 4 title matches in the 2 months you've been here. Okay, let's get another one. I hate that they don't build Battle of the Belts up.
Yeah, it's snake bitten at this point. This is Battle of the Belts 7, and I couldn't name one match that has ever happened on Battle of the Belts.
I can't remember what happened on 7. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure Orange Cassidy was in the main event.
Oh my God, you might be right. He fought Lance Archer.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it might have been the main event.
Oh, okay, yeah, he had Jake in his corner. I think I saw something on TikTok or maybe it was Reddit. I don't remember.
Let's move on. Ricky Starks versus CM Punk for the Owen Hart Cup final. Oh. I got 2 things. I'm going to say the first one and I'm going to let you get your piece off.
Go ahead.
So, I really liked the finish. It was a little bobbled because I thought Ricky grabbed the ropes like a hair too late because it was already like 2.5.
Yeah. And the referee, clear as day, saw it.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good finish to get Ricky a little bit of heat. Yeah. But maybe some babyface reactions too because people don't like Punk. Even though he did a heel action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still, he got mixed reactions week to week.
Yeah. And I think Ricky's best work is a heel. I think he needs something fresh because he feels a little stale right now. And I'm a huge Ricky Starks fan. I think he's got potential for great things. But right now...
Wait. Wait, pause. You think that he needs to be heel at this point? I think they need more baby faces.
Ricky should. I don't know, because it depends on the direction that they want to go with Punk. If Punk is going to stay this mix but really act like a babyface, then they need heels on that show for him to fight. If he's going to turn heel eventually, then yeah, they need baby faces. But like, if Ricky was primarily on Dynamite, then they need baby faces for MJF. But Punk might as well be the Collision World Champion, so they need heels.
Yeah, bro, that's what I would much prefer him to be babyface, just because they don't have any. Like, who's a babyface right now? That's the top guy. Omega, Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I guess Punk, but he's never on Dynamite.
Jericho is maybe turning.
I think it possibly, but come on, Jericho's 50 years old.
Nah, you got a point.
Yeah, they need more baby faces, man. It's plenty of heels on the roster, Dynamite and Collision, but like, as far as credible baby faces go that you can actually see win the title off MJF, the list is pretty short, man.
Yeah. All I can think of right now is like Darby.
Can you see him winning the title though? Like, at this point when he's hardly ever used?
If I just mean the aura alone, like if they use Darby correctly, yes. But
What?
right now, no.
Who's that jabroni they debuted? That 18-year-old guy.
Nick Wayne.
Yeah. They gave him a bunch of vignettes. Maybe he could be the next big baby face in the roster. I don't know.
Hey, they were good vignettes, but I don't know. He's definitely still green, but I like the signing overall. I know we didn't touch on that a whole lot either, but his match with Swerve wasn't my style of wrestling that I enjoy watching, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it just felt like any other match on Dynamite. But, man, getting back to Ricky and Punk, I didn't think it was all that. You really had some strong feelings on Ricky Stark's performance in this match, didn't you?
Let me preface this with, I really do like Ricky. I met the guy for, know, for what it's worth.
Took a picture with him. Nice guy.
Yep.
He wanted us to strike the pose with him. I don't know about that though.
Yeah, I ain't got the genes for that. I just would look like some nerdy white dude doing it, but Ricky makes it look cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just like the match he had with Jericho wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. And it's not, maybe, okay, that one's not his fault. The matches he's had with Hobbs, I think there's 3 of them. I really wanted to see the first 2, and I really wanted to see this one on Collision too. It just, something don't click there. And so I was thinking, like, maybe just style clash or something. Maybe because Ricky, can't sell as good for Hobbs, and Hobbs is this giant. I don't know. And then he had this match with Punk, and like, not to be this kind of way, but it was probably Punk's worst match since he came back, in my opinion.
Wow.
And
wait, whoa. Since he came back this latest time, or like overall to wrestling?
Yeah. Since he came back this latest time, I think. I'd have to look at his other matches, but I'm sure there was something worse than this. I remember his match with Penta being real rough.
Oh, yeah. There was some botches.
Mm-hmm. But, and there wasn't even like anything, like a bad botch here. One of the things that he always goes for, and like if it lands, it looks really cool, but more often than not, at least these past couple weeks, it doesn't land, is that little out of the corner DDT that he does, where he runs or he puts his foot on the rope, bounce off, and then gives him a DDT?
Tornado DDT, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew you would know the freaking term for it, and I was sitting here explaining it.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
But he always slips or bobbles it, or the guy don't come down right. Maybe it's the ropes. I don't know. I'm just saying, I really would love for Ricky to get in there and just have this 5-star match soon. So maybe I'm wrong, because I hope I'm wrong. Really like Ricky, think he's got a bright future, but I just don't know that the in-ring work is his forte.
Yeah, maybe he's just not that guy in ring, man. He can cut a promo. I'll take him far. He can be one of the top guys in the business, just being a great promo. But yeah, I never saw Ricky as this Shawn Michaels type. He's fine in the ring, man. He never has memorable matches, but
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He ain't bad. There's never anything memorable, or it's just passable.
He's no MJF in the ring.
Yeah. And not everybody can be. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a douche, but I don't know. I did not love this match. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's not because of the result, because I liked the result.
Do you think he has the in-ring work to be a main event guy? Or do you think that's always going to be a ceiling on him?
I need to see a little more. Because a lot of the feuds or matches he's been in.
Well, dang, Micah has been in the company 4 years at this point. How much more you got to see?
I know, but for a while he was doing tag team matches and matches with Brian Cage. I can't really take a whole lot of substance from that.
Well, oh, come on now. I mean, you could see that Shawn Michaels was a main eventer waiting to happen in his tag match. You should be able to see if Ricky has the goods at this point, man.
Well, if we're going off solely right now, then the in-ring talent of a main eventer, I don't know. But I'm 100% willing to be proven wrong, and I hope that I am.
Just burying Ricky Starks, huh?
Dadgummit. So you made me look like a bad guy, and I feel bad because I met the guy. It's different when I don't know these guys.
Oh man, you gotta be impartial. Go ahead. You saying Ricky Starks is a bum? He's a scrub. He can't go in the ring.
You're putting words on my mouth.
You saying 45-year-old Phil Brooks is a better in-ring competitor to him? Oh, go ahead, man. Just say it. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm denying that one. Anyways, what do you think about it overall, though? Ricky getting the win and in a heelish fashion.
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, I think personally they need more baby faces. So I'm not exactly sure about. I'm sure he'll do well as a heel, but at this point, AEW needs credible baby faces on top. And I thought Ricky could have been that, but ever since he had that little mini feud with MJF, he hasn't been doing much. So maybe they just don't see him as a credible main event babyface. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah. If nothing else, I came out of this match with a reason to come back next week. And I thought that's a good thing.
And a reason to bury Ricky, apparently.
Gummit. You are cooking me over here.
I'm just saying, man. You know.
It's not like I'm saying he's like Hulk Hogan in TNA. That's not what I mean.
Well, bro, I mean, you might as well have said that.
He's not like freaking. I don't even know who in there. I was trying to think of somebody from the 90s that was bad.
Is he Duke the Dumpster Droze? Is he on that level?
No. He's just like Warrior in WCW. No, I'm just playing.
You probably think Warrior's a better in-ring talent.
No, come on now. That's not what I was saying.
That's called spade a spade, Micah.
Look, I like Ricky. I want to be proven wrong. Ricky, prove me wrong. If you listen to the pod, prove me wrong.
You wrong. You done sold your Ricky Starks stock already.
I'm holding. You're selling your MJF stock. We're getting there.
Wow. Oh yeah, we will.
Let's move on from Collision. Overall, though, I thought a good show. Still the best show, top to bottom, and on a week-to-week basis, my favorite show. I don't have a reason to turn it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm more of an NXT man myself, but yeah, I can see why you would like Collision.
Somebody cue up that little SpongeBob noise. The little, Nah, they got some interesting stuff going into NXT, and that's actually where we're going to segue. So I'll take my liberty now. Wes Lee versus Dominik Mysterio for the North American Championship is really all that we're going to talk about from NXT this week. Nothing from Raw. It just was there. The Cody and Brock stuff was actually pretty good. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I thought it was an okay show. They had the Viking Raiders and Alpha Academy Viking Rules match, which was weirdly entertaining, and they had Titus O'Neil on commentary for some reason, which was pretty funny.
I saw a couple clips of Titus on commentary, and all I could ever think about is him at Mania, because you were here, you and my brother, and what did he keep yelling?
Call the police.
Yes, and oh my god! I mean, he's entertaining. So he better. Hey, I'd take him over Kevin Patrick.
Oh yeah, put him there. Take Kevin Patrick. Hey man, y'all need more commentators?
No,
you got like 13, 14 at this point.
We're all set now. We got Kevin Kelly with sub in Ian Riccaboni and Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah, JR. You got Excalibur and Shivani. You said Shivani?
No.
Did you say him?
I don't claim him.
Okay, yeah. Taz, and you got a lot of commentators, man.
I like Taz.
Take Kevin Patrick, man. Take him.
They take Tony Schiavone off and actually don't put anybody in there, because I don't really like 3-man commentary booths, just being honest.
Yeah.
But
I did it back in the day, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Caprice Coleman should be somewhere on national TV, because I really enjoyed him every time that we had to watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-views.
We had to watch. Like we were at gunpoint. Yeah, man, I get you.
Anyways, though, off of our slight tangent, for the North American Championship, Wes Lee versus Dominik Mysterio. And Dominik picked up the win. If you didn't watch NXT, I thought it was a pretty good match. Nothing crazy. There was one spot where Dominik kind of dumped him on his head. But
yeah, that looked bad.
Well, that's why he's in NXT. Call it the Dom driver.
Dom driver.
But
Dom driver 97, 98.
Yeah, there we go. Better than Will Ospreay. But obviously the Judgment Day gets involved, and they do a little bit of the cheating, if you would say. And Dominik picks up the win. I was really shocked by the result, because when I saw the headline, I mean, I don't watch NXT anyways, but when I saw the match come up, I just thought it was funny, because Solo was on the main roster, or he won the North American Championship, came to the main roster, and then had to vacate it. So I saw that Dom was getting the match, and I was like, so hypothetically, if Dom wins, then what are they going to do? And I was like, well, now it's stupid, because now you know Dominik's not going to win. Well, they swerved me, all right?
Yeah, he won.
But where do you think they go from here with him? I like the decision, because it kind of gives Judgment Day some more credibility, because now you got Rhea with a belt, Dom with a belt, Priest with a briefcase, and Finn just needs to not be with them anymore anyways, so it makes them look like the weak link. But where do you think they go with Dom with the North American Championship?
Well, let me start with Balor. I do believe he's going to take that title off Seth at SummerSlam.
Oh, and, no.
Yeah, I do think that's going to happen. Bro, you really don't... I think WWE needs to chill on those long title runs, and I think switching the title to Finn makes the most sense at this point. So I think Finn beats Seth, and then we get Judgment Day with all the gold,
But
and you said what?
you make me pick between which turd looks more
Oh, come
flavorful.
on, come on, man. You know, Finn's been doing some okay work lately. Finn and Seth had a pretty okay match at Money in the Bank. I think they can do better. But yeah. I think that's the direction they go in for SummerSlam. But Dom, as the new North American champion, I've been hearing Shawn Michaels is pretty high on the Judgment Day. So this might be a long reign, man. Might let Dom spread his wings a little bit in NXT. You know, he could carry that show. They did their second highest rating since they got off Wednesday nights with Dirty Dom on top. So I don't know, man. We might be in for the Judgment Day era on NXT. You might have to start tuning in, Micah.
Reign of Terror.
Hey man, Dom and Rhea on top on NXT. That's pretty. Oh, I'll watch it. I'll tune in.
I wouldn't hate it. I like Dom a lot.
Yeah, the crowd was red hot during this match too.
I might tune in next week. I'll take you up on your offer, especially because they did the TNA style angle shooting backstage.
Yeah, and Booker was not happy about that.
They're infringing on his privacy. He's like every old person who gets recorded into Walmart. You can't record me. It's not allowed. Like, no, it definitely is.
It's a public place, sir.
You're getting recorded anytime you ever walk into any grocery store ever, or just anywhere these days.
Yeah, anywhere. But yeah, man, Dom as the new North American champion, it has potential. And that guy that he wrestled, Wesley, he's a hell of a wrestler. Wesley is. But let's be honest, man. He's 5'6". Now I don't want to be the size king or size queen here on the Scoop Slam podcast, but come on, man. You got that ceiling if you're a 5'6" dude in WWE. You know what makes him stand out from any of those other jabronis they got on NXT?
I mean, yeah, because immediately the first thing that came to my head about being short in NXT was Carmelo. But Carmelo's got charisma, and I don't watch NXT a lot, so, I can't speak to this. But
he has good matches, man. Wesley does. He has good matches, but with a name like Wesley and him being 5'6", not exactly an impressive physique. I don't know, man. You can only go so far.
Yeah, you said everything I was just about to say. I don't like his name. He doesn't pass the airport test. At least Carmelo Hayes looks like somebody. You know what I mean? You see him on the street and you're like, oh, okay. But
yeah,
he just don't do it for me. But let me say this for the whole Dom thing. I really like, and I guess I never thought about it because typically they don't do these type of angles with the belts. But it gets Dom a championship without taking away from somebody else on the main roster. But it also gets him almost like more heat. Well, yeah, more reps. Almost like more heat, though. Because it's, he's going to parade it around like he's Roman Reigns. And it's like a developmental title.
Yeah. And man, it's only going to help him in the long run because he didn't get to go to NXT. So this is him doing his own thing. Maybe Judgment Day isn't there every week with him. So we can see, more singles matches, more promos where they just don't drown him out with booze. When they do that on the main roster, drown him out with booze, he's not really practicing his promos, man. He's not going to get better if they just won't let him talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he's gotten a lot better, but definitely, I mean, it never hurts to be out there more or be in the ring more. The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. So I definitely understand what you mean. And Dom, to me, has the promo aspect down to a point, but the in-ring work is where he lacks. So if he can pick that up in this little run with the title, I think Dom will be a better all-around performer going into 2024. And hey, even by the end of the year, he might win our most improved again.
Hey man, Dirty Dom, he equals ratings. You saw their rating that they did for this week?
What they do?
They did 800,000, man.
Okay.
They doing AEW numbers at this point.
Oh man. You never miss a moment to take a pot shot, huh?
Yeah, no. It's my gimmick.
Well, let's round out the week of wrestling. We almost finished on a high note with NXT. Surprisingly, I didn't think those words would ever come out of my mouth about current NXT. AEW Dynamite from July 19th.
Uh-oh.
I haven't seen Blood and Guts yet, so I can't review the whole show. If something crazy happens on Blood and Guts, we'll talk about it next week.
A couple crazy spots happened. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. I saw a bed of screwdrivers, and I think...
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think I got all I needed to know about what that match consisted of.
Yeah.
How do I even start this? I didn't know what I was watching, and by the end of it, I still don't. I texted you. I said, "What did I witness?"
Yeah. Well, Adam Cole and MJF. Better than you, baby. You didn't enjoy that, Micah.
Let me set the scene.
Oh.
So it's the tag team title eliminator tournament final. Adam Cole and MJF versus Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. And they start the match, and they're taunting a little bit back and forth, and Garcia stops the ref and does his little hip thrust.
Oh, God. My God.
I already hate it, because I texted you a couple weeks ago to watch that absolute abomination of a match that was like Keith Lee, Cassidy, and Vikingo versus Garcia in 2.0, and he started dancing on Keith Lee's back, and he said, "I'm not watching this." So this dissolves into some dance battle. In the middle of the ring, MJF goes and hits music, and suddenly the lights cue up and everything like that. So,
oh my God.
Let's just take all validity out of this being a real contest. And they do some dancing, and somehow Sammy Guevara has 2 left feet.
Yeah. He's Latino, ain't he?
Yeah, that's why I said somehow. Because Chaz was like, well, both of these guys are Latino. And I said, are you sure about that? Because Garcia, like, for what it's worth,
yeah.
I don't like the dancing gimmick, but you can tell it at least has rhythm. Sammy?
No.
But anyways, MJF starts retorting and dance, and then
oh God,
I made Hannah watch this with me.
No,
I did, because I needed to see what a casual viewer would think, and she just waited in anticipation to see what Adam Cole was about to do, but not like funny ha-ha, like horror, because he's like a 36-year-old dad, essentially.
Oh my God, yeah.
And exactly what we thought was going to happen happened, and she just went, oh no.
Apparently that's his signature move on his Twitch channel. He does that a lot. I don't know, man.
The air thrust?
Yeah, apparently he does that. That's his victory dance. I don't know, man. I don't watch him on Twitch, but Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you don't have to be sorry for anything. I'm sorry that I watched this. Well, actually, you do have to be sorry for something because you texted me and told me to watch this.
Bro, I was just when I seen it, my first reaction was, okay, maybe this is a commercial break. And maybe this was just for the live audience. Okay. If that was that, then I get okay, whatever. But no, this was live on air on TNT or they're in TNT? TBS. They were on TBS, man. They were doing this. I I don't know, man. it, if this was a mid card thing, it'd be different. If MJF was the TNT champion doing this comedy stuff, I could maybe overlook this. But this is supposed to be the main event stuff, man. He's the champion. He's the world champion. Could you imagine Roman Reigns having a match with Sami Zayn? And then at the beginning, he goes over to the timekeeper's area and he puts on music to have a dance battle with Sami Zayn. Could you imagine that happening, Micah?
No, and I
Yep.
think that's one of the reasons that WWE's hot right now because for the most part, the Bloodline feud is treated seriously.
Bro, and I know when you look at it, we watch men in underwear grapple each other on a weekly basis.
Pause.
But you know what? Hey, man, it's what we do. Hey, man, if somebody came in and saw me watching a wrestling match, I'd be like, yeah, it's just a wrestling match. But if somebody saw me watching that, I would turn the channel, man. There's no way I would be embarrassed.
I was kind of embarrassed to show Hannah, who somewhat watches wrestling.
Yeah.
This was, I don't eat your heart out, Disco Inferno. I don't even know who pitched this, why it happened, why they think this is okay, why people defend this, why people online said that they couldn't stop watching it.
God. Bro, it was some people on Twitter were saying, "Oh, well, you had no problem when Brodus Clay was doing it in 2012." Yeah, I did have a problem with it. But you know what? At least that wasn't in the main event scene. We didn't have CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler having a dance off in the middle of the title match. We didn't see that. Yeah, Brodus Clay danced, but it was in the undercard, man. Or Rikishi with Too Cool. That was on the undercard, man. That wasn't main event stuff.
And it wasn't like with the lights and everything has stopped. Like typically Brodus Clay danced after the match. I'm not going to say he never did in the match because I'm sure he did. But I don't know how to explain it. There's a fine line in wrestling. Some people are bulletproof enough that things don't matter.
Yeah.
The go home show for Survivor Series 20 years ago was Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock singing Margaritaville and then brawling. And it's entertaining as all get out, and I have no issues with it.
Well, hold up now. Let me defend Rock and Austin and their sing song. That wasn't a promo, man.
I agree, that does make it different.
Yeah, come on, man. We're supposed to be. What happened to real sports presentation that they promised us at the beginning of this whole thing?
Oh, that's on
what happened to
Saturdays.
all that? Oh yeah, bro, Tony Khan promised it on Wednesdays. See, it was gonna be real sports presentation and rankings. What happened to the rankings?
They got whisked away when FTR was like, hey, we've been number one contender since April and it's August and we haven't gotten a title shot.
Regardless, man, real sports presentation and we have a dance off in the middle of a sold out TD Garden.
And there's another factor too that like MJF doing it when he was dancing almost didn't bother me as bad as when Cole or Garcia or Sammy was. Because there's an aspect of like bulletproof that you get when everything you do is so good. MJF is kind of at that level. And that's the reason
Yeah.
Stone Cold and The Rock could. That's the reason Stone Cold could drive on a freaking Zamboni and come out and spray the ring. Like, that's absurd.
Yeah.
But it's Stone Cold
It's way-
Steve Austin.
It's way too much comedy at this point, man. Way too much comedy. And, it goes back to that old saying, funny don't draw money. And it's true, man. Could you imagine Santino Marella holding the WWE
Oh
Championship?
my God. I remember being pissed
man,
as a
come on.
kid when he was like the last guy in the Rumble against Del Rio.
Yeah, man, it's the ceiling to that comedy stuff, man. People don't want to. They can't take that serious in the main event scene, man. It just doesn't happen. Mid card's one thing, undercard, okay, but MJF is supposed to be a generational main event heel of your company, and he's doing, dance routines, man. Come on, are we running PWG at this point?
Might as well be on Wednesday nights. That's pretty much what it is. And I say all that to say this. I'm a person who enjoy the dinner debonair thing and have went back and watched it multiple times because I think it's funny.
No, you got to speak for yourself on that one.
Well,
hey, bro, I like dance movies, man. I watched You Got Served and Stomp the Yard, and oh man, I was big on that when I was a kid, but I don't want to see my favorite wrestler doing that on Wednesday nights.
I think the biggest thing you said is I can't imagine CM Punk doing that, and that's just very true.
Maybe for like after the show when the cameras aren't rolling.
Yeah, like when
That's
they tried to get Taker to do the
Taker Rooney.
Taker Rooney.
Yeah.
Good stuff, all in good fun, but not in the middle of a match when he was the world champion.
Yes.
It's just one of those weird things. You can't explain why some things work and some things don't, but this did not work. Because there's ridiculous stuff. Again, Stone Cold and The Rock are kind of the king of doing ridiculous stuff, but they were so over that it didn't matter.
Yeah. And this was a swing and a miss for MJF. I'm not a fan. I didn't watch the match, so maybe they redeemed themselves during the match, but at that point, watching that whole dance routine, I had to turn the show off, man.
I agree. But before we move too far from this, next week on Collision is the MJF Adam Cole versus FTR match.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Because they think they've got something, because that shirt is the most sold shirt on Shop AEW right now. I think if they break them up, it's stupid.
I think they win it.
You think they beat FTR?
Yeah, I think they beat FTR. Yeah.
Wild take.
Bro, you just said it. They got #1 t-shirt. Apparently the live audience enjoyed them. It adds fuel to the fire for the eventual turn, which I would assume one of them's got to turn on the other. When's their next pay-per-view? September? Yeah, they got a ways to go, man.
Into August.
What?
All In.
That's still a month away though. All In's the
big one.
UK show, isn't? That's the UK one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think they beat FTR, man.
I don't know. I think you make a 2-man power trip and make them heels, because if you haven't learned anything from WWE in the past year,
2-man power trip, bro. Adam Cole is just so unintimidating. I don't know, man.
Haven't beat Cassidy.
I would take Cassidy more serious in the Adam Cole position, honestly, man. Look at him.
I mean, I know, but I think they've been wrestling in shirts recently. That helps.
He makes Wesley look like Ultimate Warrior, man.
You think if him and Britt split up, he would get more ripped?
I don't know, man. He needs to do something. They had that gym segment a couple weeks ago. He needs to stay in that thing every day, man.
Nah, he lying. That's the first time Adam Cole been to a gym in like 2 years. Canceled his Planet Fitness membership in September of 2021 when he signed.
Ever since he left the Performance Center, that was the last time he was in a gym.
And that was only because they had a gym in the Performance Center. But I say that as a fat white guy, so yeah.
Well, that's beside the point. We're now on national television every week. We would get on the juice and we'd be looking right.
Yeah. See? You don't have to see me. You just have to hear me. So you don't know what I look like.
Yeah, Macho Man said it best. This is upper body business, brother. And he needs to work on that, man. Definitely. Big time.
And Adam Cole is not the cream of the crop.
No.
Well, speaking of cream of the crops, that's a good segue to our next little bit here.
Whoa.
We talked about it last week. We're going to close up the show with it because I thought it was a really interesting topic, and I wasn't sure how long we were going to spend on it. But you said a pretty bold statement, and I did a little studying. I think you did a little studying.
May.
You said that Roman Reigns currently is a bigger draw than John Cena was at his peak because Roman Reigns is currently in his peak, as far as we know.
Absolutely.
So, present your case to the court.
Bro, you know, Roman Reigns, he's on another level right now. Would you agree, Micah?
I agree. Well, wholeheartedly.
And the business as a whole is doing some of its best numbers, right?
Yep.
Can't dispute that.
Rising tides lifts all ships.
Of course. The first $1 billion revenue year. Guess who was on top, Micah?
One Mr. Joseph Anoa'i.
That's right. That was 2021. 2022, Micah. The second time they broke $1 billion revenue-wise. Guess who was on top?
One Mr. Joseph Anoa'i.
That's right. And then for 2023, so far, and I'm getting all this from companiesmarketcap.com, which they look like a reputable website. So we're just going to go with this as facts. 2023, so far this year, Micah, guess how much they've made?
How much?
1.25 billion. Already.
Good God.
Already,
halfway
Micah.
Through the year?
Already, Micah. And who is on top?
Well,
come on
survey
now.
says one Mr. Joseph Anoa'i.
Yes, sir. And you can put it on WWE's business model to a point because they are running more international shows, which helps because you can jack up ticket prices and make out like bandits. The Puerto Rico show did a lot. The UK show, I think they did their highest one day. What was? Do you remember? You remember that show they did in the London show that did its highest record gate?
Yeah, I think it was something along the lines of like most tickets sold in a day for WWE, but they topped an $8 million gate total.
And that was just for like an arena show, Micah. That wasn't a stadium show. That was an arena show.
Well, no, Clash was a stadium show.
No. I'm talking about the show they did in London.
Money in the Bank? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was most tickets sold or like quickest event sold out ever or something like that. But I know the Clash show did an $8 million gate. Sorry, I got those two things mixed up.
No, but the show they did for the SmackDown show they did the night before was their highest gate that they have ever done for a television show, a weekly show.
Oh, okay.
So they did, yeah, they did that. So I mean, their business model is a lot different now. And then they're getting the money from Saudi Arabia too, so that helps with the earnings, yes. But man, me personally, I feel like Roman on top, he is having a bigger impact on business than Cena did while he was on top.
Let me counter you with an article from Forbes because they talked about the same thing. Now, however, this was in at the beginning of the year for 2023, and really, I think the signs of a industry-wide popularity surge have just now started showing. But the question was, Roman Reigns was once again named the biggest draw in pro wrestling. That is undisputed. But somebody posed the question to Dave Meltzer, and they said, is Reigns at all close to being as big of a draw as John Cena was? And Meltzer said that he doesn't see evidence of it. In 2017, Brandon Thurston with WrestleNomics, really good guy, really good stats, love his stuff, said that it was clear in 2017 that Cena was a bigger draw than Reigns, despite the massive push. However, a lot has changed since then. But Cena is a bigger name outside of pro wrestling, and as evidenced by his recent SmackDown return, which this was again at the beginning of the year, he still can draw if he's there consistently. But the same can be said for Roman Reigns coming back. You know, if he's off the show compared to when he's on the show, the ratings are typically 500,000 to 600,000 different, maybe more. I mean, shoot, they just did like 3 million a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was also a different era where Rock and Austin and kind of Cena relied more on television ratings and live gates, and now it's almost kind of compared to the wrestling business. In the 90s, it was you got to work to prove yourself, and now it's like guaranteed contracts. For a TV show, you get a guaranteed contract now. I think that's different. I think the international expansion is different. But me personally, I agree with you, and here's my number one evidence why. The business consistently went down with Cena on top. The business picked up.
Big time picked up.
With Roman Reigns on top. And not even in the first or second year of his reign, or however long he's had it now. We're what, close to year 3?
Yeah.
And just now business is picking up. So it never happened with Cena. If you look, which again, some of it is due to cable, but like you texted me the other day, how many shows right now can say their year-over-year ratings are better?
Yeah.
Almost none.
And you know, man, Cena did have the benefit of guys left over from the Attitude Era. He had Triple H, to help draw people in. He had Undertaker. He had Ric Flair. He had Batista. He had Jeff Hardy. All these guys were there when Cena was on top. 2008, 2009, 2010. He had all those guys. Shawn Michaels. He had
Baker, Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho. Bro, he had guys left over from when the business was at its hottest point. Who the heck does Roman Reigns have? Seth Rollins?
Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Dean Ambrose, he had him. But these guys weren't big stars during the hottest point. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say Ray is probably their closest thing to like a mega star currently
Yeah.
still wrestling.
Yeah, bro. Like if you go to a house show in like 2009, Cena was gonna be on top, but you still had Jericho that was gonna be there. Undertaker might have been there. Mark Henry, Big Show. You had big names on that card, so it wasn't like Cena was the only drawing card. Like you go to a 2023 house show, if Roman is on it as the main event, who else is on that show, man?
And he's rarely on
Santos.
house shows now.
Yeah, but just hypothetically, if he's main event in a house show, who else is on that card?
Probably Santos and
that's a name that a casual fan would know.
probably Ray. The only other person I
Yeah.
can think that, like,
Yeah.
if I walk down the street and ask somebody, do you know who this person is, would be like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, man. Like when you compare that, and if you look at the numbers, because I got it pulled up in front of me, Cena on top, the business pretty much stayed consistent. They made about 480 million to about 500 million the years he were on top.
But the ratings
But
went
when
down.
the ratings did go down, the ratings went down every single year Cena was on top. But I digress. When you look at the numbers for when Roman was on top, would you say he became top guy in 2016? Would you say that?
Yeah, 2016, 2017 was probably the full transition.
Now the ratings did go down. However, business went up every single year, including this year. Business is clearly going to surpass what they did last year, which was 1.29 billion what they did last year, and they're already on pace to break that.
And just one more point to the cable thing, because obviously the revenue, I mean, there's nothing really to add. The evidence there speaks for itself. Again, cable progressively got less popular, so it makes sense for the ratings to go down. But that speaks so much more to Roman's drawing power that they are year over year better.
Yeah. And we got to give some love to the Bloodline storyline.
Yep. And
Which
Triple H.
is Triple H to a point, but when you look at Cena's career, what storyline did he have that is even on the same level as the Bloodline is currently? Can you name anything? The Summer of Punk? I get that was more about CM Punk than Cena.
Yeah, the only thing I could think, and it really wasn't even a great story because
I guess The Rock. I guess The Rock. Yeah,
but that was not really concurrent. Like Rock wasn't there week to week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes and no. Bigger name on paper, The Rock versus John Cena. Yeah, probably a little bigger than the Bloodline, maybe. But like when you actually think about the story, Rock beat Cena, and then Cena just kind of went through like trials and tribulations for a year with nothing said from The Rock until like Royal Rumble when he came back to get back at Punk.
Yeah, and that was a weird year for Cena too. He had a match with John Laurinaitis on pay-per-view.
Yeah. So, here we are, 2023, and if you had asked me in 2016 that the business would pick up substantially because of Roman Reigns, I probably would have laughed at you and
I would have drug tested you, man.
Sent you back through the parallel universe portal that you came from.
Probably ate a super kick too.
From our security guards, of course.
Oh, of course.
But I think that's all we got for this week. Make sure to check us out. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, at Scoop Slam Pod. Make sure to share us with your friends. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a good one.